Welcome to the I Am One podcast, where we talk to perinatal mental health advocates, professionals, and educators supporting the mission of Postpartum Support International. We're not afraid to ask our guests about the hardest parts of pregnancy and postpartum because we know that PSI has tools and resources to help in every situation, and everyone should know about them.
Whether you are among the 1 in 5 moms, 1 in 10 dads, one of many trans or non-binary parents, or you're one professional or advocate committed to helping folks in need, you are also one of us.
I'm your host, Danny Giddens, and I am 1 in 5. I didn't know what to call what I was experiencing after becoming a parent and felt too scared at the time to speak up.
Not anymore. Now she won't stop talking about it. Hi, I'm your co-host, Emily Jankowski. I'm also 1 in 5, and I want you to know that mental health complications are common, but they aren't normal.
There's something powerful in knowing I am one of many. Whether you're already connected to the perinatal mental health world, looking for new ways to support parents and families, or just want to hang out with us in your earbuds, we are so glad that you tuned in.
Of course they want to hang out with us. We're lovely. Seriously though, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this pod are the speaker's own. Tuning into this podcast is, spoiler alert, not a replacement for therapy, but PSI can help you find a therapist. We could also help you find a psychiatrist, a support group, or Waldo.
Emily, Waldo? Come on! We don't know where Waldo is.
Okay, fine. PSI help seekers can find peer support and resources in their area.
At PSI, we want you to know you are not alone, you are not to blame, and with help, you will be well. On today's episode, we're sitting down with one of the world's loveliest human beings, Lynn TURCOTTE-SCHUH, a certified birth educator, a speaker, a perinatal mental health advocate, a longtime PSI volunteer, and a mentor for mothers everywhere. We'll chat about parenting through debilitating anxiety, social media's impact on both our mental health and overall capacity, and what it means to find and live with radiant joy. This episode is packed full of silliness and also some serious truth bombs. So without any further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode with our friend, Lynn. Lynn, welcome to the podcast studio. So good to see you again. Emily and I have been eagerly awaiting the chance to sit down with you and talk about all things perinatal mental health related, hear about some of your lived experience, hear about what you're up to, etc., etc., etc. So thanks for being here.
Yay, thank you for having me. I love you guys, and
We love you too.
I love PSI and everything it does, so I'm really honored to be part of this.
Oh, yeah. Lynn, without any further ado, could you please give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are?
Oh, boy.
Got an hour?
Hang on to your seats. I, first and foremost, am a human being, and I say that, not cliche. I say it in that I try to honor myself first. That is something that I have had to learn recently. That's not a lifelong skill that I've had. But I always I am me first. And then I'm a mom. I have a 10-year-old rainbow baby who is just my everything. I love her dearly. And I have an angel baby that would be about 11 and a half. And she's part of our family as well. Her name's Mia. And we talk to her all the time, so that's pretty normal in our house to talk to people that aren't live anymore. I've been married for almost 15 years, which is insane to me because we were together for 10 years before we got married. So I'm I've officially lived more of my life with you than I did before I met you. We live in Eastern Connecticut on a little homestead, so when I am not working and being in service to other people, professionally, usually I'm playing music, guitar, piano, or hanging out with my chickens or my bunnies, or just going for walks out in nature, being in my garden. I really just love, the simple life. It's just, it's nice and calm. We're, in a little bubble out here, and I love it. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
We're kind of making a habit into interviewing chicken lovers.
Ooh, hey, I mean,
had a few.
Maybe it's because we're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like fresh eggs? Listen.
Right? I will say, I know it's kind of disturbing to some people, but we raise our birds for both eggs and meat. So I personally process our birds. It's like part of my essence that I feel so much joy and pride in being able to provide for my family. So we have a big garden and we grow that food and I can it or I freeze it, and we have the chickens for eggs, and I water glass them so they will last all winter long.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we have the meat in the freezer downstairs. So it's like a source of pride for me. It's so funny because other people are like, you're weird. But I'm like, no, this is it's like my happy place.
Whatever weird means.
That's true. And I say thank you. When people call me crazy or weird, I say thank you. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. That compliment.
Probably have the most delicious food and the happiest chickens.
Yes. They are pretty happy. Until, they're not. But...
Right. Until they're making me happy.
Yes.
Delicious meal.
Mm-hmm. But even that like plays into a huge part of my healing has just been finding not even religion, but like spirituality and just kind of coming home to myself. And part of the reason that I love eating the way we do and raising these animals is because every step of the way we're in gratitude. So like when I'm about to take a bird's life, I literally cry and I stand there and I'm like, thank you so much. Like your life is not being taken in vain. Your spirit is going to nourish my spirit. Your body is going to nourish my family. And like, it's really this like whole spiritual experience. It's been incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, I rambled a little there, huh?
You didn't.
I'm into it.
You're more plugged in than many people into life on this earth. So it's incredible to witness.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what role perinatal mental health conditions have played in your life?
Yeah, it's been
loaded question.
Life-changing.
Go on.
I'm very open about all of my life experiences. I had a pretty chaotic childhood because they're scars for me. And so I can speak to them and hopefully help other people heal, or at least know that they're not alone. They're not like damaged goods or something. So I struggled with depression and anxiety since I was like 9. As I grew and I went to therapy and got lots of tools, I kind of overcame the anxiety piece. And the depression part was what I was really struggling with. And then I got pregnant with my rainbow baby. And I was totally fine during the pregnancy. I didn't have any issues with either one. And then afterwards, it was like the depression disappeared and the anxiety went through the roof. It was like the weirdest experience. And because I thought I had a handle on it, I was like, oh, this just must be motherhood. Like everyone said it was going to be hard. And this is like real hard. So this just must be what they were talking about. So even though I had all this experience and like knew that I struggled with this, I still didn't catch it because I don't know why. It just like fell through the cracks. So I went 6 months before I was even diagnosed with postpartum anxiety. And once I got diagnosed, then I was like, okay, back it up. Back up the truck.
Beep, beep, beep.
Back it up.
I know what this feels like in my life. And this is like very different than what I've experienced before. I went to therapy and I joined some of the peer support groups it wasn't PSI at the time. It was Postpartum Progress. Was like, and I hooked into the Climb Out of the Darkness event. My daughter was like 7 months old when I did the first climb.
Shout out.
And that has just been a through line through my entire experience since then. What I noticed was that the anxiety that I was having now, it hasn't gone away. I've managed it better now, but it is so much more about like, what if I leave my daughter? It's all focused on her. It's not focused on, am I going to be hurt? Am I going to be safe? It's like, oh my gosh, if I get in a car accident, like my daughter doesn't have a mom anymore. Like everything's like hyper focused on this other person. It's like my heart is walking around outside my body now. And I just am always afraid that it's going to get hurt. So that's been a very different experience of anxiety than what I had experienced before in my life. And it took me about 3 years to really come out of it and feel human again. And then like a year and a half later, COVID hit. And I was like, do therapist. I'm like way worse than I was before.
SOS.
Yeah.
The breakthrough or the epiphany that I had during COVID, which made it so much harder for me, and I still now am working out of it. I'm still not completely out of the anxiety that popped up there, was that before, the things that I would get super anxious about were like irrational or like at least not probable.
Did they feel rational in the moment?
They did. Well, they never felt rational, but they felt very real. Like the emotion felt real, but the thing I was worried about never really felt real. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With COVID, the thing I was worried about was very real. Right? And so I was like, well, how do I work through this?
Right.
Like, it's an actual justifiable.
This is a reasonable thing to have anxiety about.
So, yeah. So it's been, not to trigger anybody, but now I've worked through kind of the germaphobe type thing. And for the last year or so, I am really battling the mass shootings, gun violence stuff. Not in a political way, but like I am afraid to go to the grocery store. Like I have to psych myself up to go to the grocery store. Like I'm still working through all the stuff using all the same tools. It's just like, it's just a different face to it now. So yeah, I totally rambled. But so it is, perinatal mental health stuff has like colored my entire life.
It's all connected.
It is. It's brought me to the most amazing people, too. So,
yeah.
I don't know that I would, being on the other side of it as far as I am, not completely out, but like on having gone through the mess of it for so long, I don't know that I would change anything because I've met some really awesome people that are very dear to me that I don't know what I would do without them.
I mean, you wouldn't be who you are. All the circumstances of your life wouldn't be recognizable to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a follow-up question because I feel like there's a media piece to what you're saying. So it's two-parter. One, my sense is that like anxiety and parenthood is normalized in a way that is doing a disservice to parents. It's in TV, it's like a punchline sometimes, right? It's not helpful, I don't think. Was that some of your experience as well?
100%. And I agree with you. And I get on a soapbox about it. I have a whole piece of my mentorship program that's called Supermom is a Myth.
Yeah.
It's like just setting us up to fail, that we have all of these unrealistic expectations from society. I'm convinced that's why I didn't get diagnosed for so long, because not that I was hiding anything, I just didn't think there was anything there to find.
Right. Hypervigilance felt normalized.
Yes.
Like, this is my job now. I'm supposed to do all the things.
I'm supposed to do all the things, and I'm supposed to keep my kids safe, and I'm supposed to, like, look beautiful while I do it, and have a smile on my face. I tell this story, I very vividly remember, like, the moment that it all started to crack for me. I think my daughter was just a couple months old. Like, I was still in the 4th trimester, and I literally had, like, breast milk all over my shirt, and I had spit up on one shoulder. And I had, like, my hair was, like, just out of my face. I don't even think it was a messy bun. It was, like, a rat's nest kind of bun. I don't remember the last time I showered, honestly. Like, it had probably been, like, 4 or 5 days. And I heard a knock at our door. And, like, we live in the boonies. So I was like, who's knocking on my door? Mm-hmm. And I peeked out, like, of one of the windows. And it was a friend's car. Like, I knew who it was. And so I was like, I got really excited to see this person because I hadn't seen her since my daughter was born. And in our kitchen, we have these, they're like glass front cabinets. So at certain times of the day, when you walk by, it's like a mirror, right? You can like catch your reflection. So I was walking to our front door and I just happened to catch my reflection. And I turned and looked and I was like, I am horrified. I am so embarrassed right now. Like I cannot let this person into my house. Oh my
You're like,
gosh.
hold on. And then you're like, I can't fix. Yeah.
And I was like, well, she's here. Like, she's coming in. So I just took a breath and she came in. And she didn't bat an eye. She, like, hugged me and it was a lovely visit. She was actually the first person that had visited the entire time that walked in the door and said, hey, what can I do for you? I want to visit with you, but, like, what can I do? Can I start some laundry? Can I do some dishes? And I was like, you are a godsend right this second, first of all. And then we had this, like, lovely visit. On the way out, she gave me a little wink. Literally, she was like, you're kicking butt, Supermom. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, I felt really good. And then a couple days went by and I was like, Supermom, huh? And I literally went to Google and I looked it up and all I kept seeing were these like illustrations of this mom like smiling and like 18 arms. Have you seen these? Where like she's literally like holding.
Doing all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like looking gorgeous and this huge smile. And I was like, I'm not that. I am not that at all. Like something's wrong. What is wrong with me that I can't do that? Like that's not. And that just sent me on this whole deep dive of I don't want that. Like not only am I not that, but like I don't want to be responsible for everything. I don't want to. And so that was really the catalyst for me to go on a lot of inner work that has led me now to kind of help other moms have that moment where they're like, no, this is not this is not real. This is not real life. You cannot do all these things and be alive. Like you just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you had two parts to your question.
Oh, the other part is media related to COVID and other news. I feel like it's so hard to compartmentalize like things that I need to keep on my radar versus the things that like I don't need to let stay there.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so hard to figure out where I can have a positive impact or where I need to be vigilant. And where I can just be like, that's literally not my problem. Everything feels like my problem the way that the media presents it, I think.
No, I totally agree. And I think with COVID and then again with the state of the world right now, everything's at our fingertips. And like horrible images and stories are like at our fingertips because of social media. Like even if we don't want to see them, they just pop up. They're almost like forced upon us.
They're like intrusive thoughts.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's like, oh man, I'm not subscribed to this account, but I'm getting an ad for it. Hashtag unwanted ad.
That is the most brilliant metaphor for intrusive thoughts ever, Danny. You need to write that down somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously, that is exactly. But so for COVID and right now, I'm actually getting a lot of, can I say crap?
You may say crap. You can say...
You could say other things.
That's like a bad word for me, crap. Okay, so I'm getting like a lot of crap from family and friends because I go silent. I stay neutral. I don't even engage. I don't keep up with the day-to-day. And it's not because I don't care. It's because, like you're saying, Emily, we only have so much capacity.
Yeah.
My capacity right now needs to be to keep myself and my tiny human alive and well. And some days I have leftover and I can then go and, go above and beyond. But most days I don't. For COVID, I unplugged from all things. Mm-hmm. And we had one news show that I felt was like kind of central, like not left or right. It was central. It was offering really good just updates and facts. And we would just like every day watch that for like 10 minutes just to get an update. Are there bans lifting? Are there bans back in place? Do we like just to be updated? And then the same thing with what's going on right now, in that like it's not that I'm putting my head in the sand and like not caring, but like I don't need to see those images. For people that don't have mental health issues, I don't think they understand that like one photograph will just flatten you.
Follow you around. Yeah.
Yes. And like it will haunt your every waking and sleeping dream because in your mind you're like, why can't I fix that? Like I should be able to fix that. Like I should there's something I should be able to do and you can't. Mm-hmm. And so I have learned to hold that healthy boundary and that like I understand it's happening. I understand it's horrible. My heart goes out. I pray every day. I meditate every day. I send positive energy out every day. Like I do what I can, but within a realm of protecting my mental health and that of my daughter. Because I have a meditation mentor that talks about how you cannot like help other people until you are stable yourself, right? And so my goal is I need to be stable. And when I shine a light on my own path, then it's lighting up other people's. Mm-hmm. Just by default, by ripple effect. So I've really had to just turn inward during these times. And like I said, I get a lot of flack for it from some people. And I just... Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Everybody's got an opinion about what other people should be doing and are not doing enough of or are doing too much of. And it's like, you're never going to make everybody happy. And as a people pleaser, Sometimes I have a real hard time with that. But the closer to 40 I get, the fewer you-know-whats I give. So,
Right.
things are looking up.
I turned 45 this July.
Okay.
And it is like, freedom! Literally, I'm like, I hear you. You don't like what I'm doing? Okay, I'm going to send you away with love. Like, enjoy your life. No skin off my back. Like, I'm proud. I can look in the mirror every morning, every night, and be like, I am proud of me, and I'm proud of this day, and I'm proud of how I'm living. I can't help you if you have a problem. Like, that's your problem.
You do weekly consults? Just asking for a friend. But seriously, though.
I have a mentorship program for moms that I run all year round.
We'll ask about it. But first, I'm curious, Lynn. When I'm thinking back to you being in the perinatal period, you know, you're experiencing postpartum anxiety. What was it like getting help, the help that you needed? I know that you mentioned finding a therapist. Did you recognize that things were happening inside for you? Did your partner say something to you? Was it another family member that was like, this is tough, and maybe it might be a good time to get a little extra help? Feeling like yourself again? Or
I love that question so much. I love it so much. So good job, Danny. When I finally figured out that something was not right, before we hit record today, I shared with you guys that I am an empath and that I have had like energetic connections and received messages and things for my whole life, right? I don't talk about it a ton. It's part of my everyday experience. If you follow me on social media or like are around me in real life, like it's there, but I'm not like preaching it. But I quite often as a child would have dreams, and then those things would happen within the next couple weeks or couple months or whatever. And so that is an underlying programming that I have. Now, fast forward to like 6 months postpartum, and I have this dream, this very vivid dream that I'm dreaming about the whole morning, like what's going on in the morning. We're up, we're getting ready, we're eating breakfast, my wife's getting ready for work, and she, we give her a quick hug and peck on the cheek because there's 18 million things going on, and she walks out the door, and then like 2 hours later, a cop comes to the door, and he's there to deliver the news that my wife was in an accident and that she didn't make it. And that was the dream that I had. So when I woke up, I was already in this like, oh my God, like, was this just a dream? Because like sometimes when you're pregnant and postpartum, like you have weird dreams, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, was this like a dream? And so I started freaking out because I wasn't sure. The morning was just how I had dreamt it, but all mornings were like that. So like that wasn't really telling.
Yep.
And then she went to walk out the door, and I literally put my child like on the floor, not even in a seat, just on the floor.
Yeah.
And I barricaded our door with my body, and I just burst into tears. And I said, you cannot leave this house because you will not come back. And it was like this 15-minute long argument between her and I where she was trying to help me. But I was like, no, you're not understanding. Like, you cannot go. Like, this is not something... like, you're not leaving this house.
Maybe I'm not being clear.
Yeah.
Take your shoes off and get comfortable.
Exactly. Like, go put your jammies back on. We're playing hooky. Like, it's not happening.
I'll make snacks. Come on.
I love it. So she calmed me down enough because she has been with me for a very long time that I was able to like, okay, maybe this was just a dream. Like, I'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. And she left, and she came home, and she has come home every day since then, knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
And
there we go.
Thank you. I know.
Yeah, covering our bases.
I was like, that, like, this is hearkening back to when I was younger, and I just would have these crazy episodes, if you will, of anxiety that took over my body. Like, I literally could not function because I was like, no, this bad thing is going to happen.
Super debilitating.
And that was, I was like, no. Like, I cannot. I had worked so hard to get out of it. I was like, I cannot go back there again. And so for me, it was very easy to pick up the phone and ask for help.
Because you recognized that.
Yes, and I'd already done it. I'd already been through it my whole childhood. It wasn't normal. Like, it wasn't a normal thing. It still kind of had a stigma, even in my own family. And I knew it helped me because it helped me, for many, many, many years. So I was like, I don't care if this is normal or not. Like, I need this help. So after that point, it was very easy for me to get what I needed. Other than the one sticky point was, I think, logistically finding it. There were a lot of therapists, but not a lot that were versed in perinatal mental health stuff, and not a lot that had worked with specifically like a mom going through that. And so my therapist wasn't even somebody like that. She just kind of went with it. And like, she was amazing, but sometimes I'm like, I think she just kind of sat there and I did all the work based on stuff I had done like earlier in life. But regardless, she held the space for me.
I mean, if you're an external processor, that might be what you needed,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like just her holding that space for me to like, that was focus time. And so that alone was worth it. But
there was that moment and then you recognized it.
Yeah, but I just want to recognize that I understand that it's not like that for a lot of people. I can see and empathize and recognize that step of actually picking up the phone and like admitting that something's wrong, that you need help with something, that might be the hardest part.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me, but I know that it could be for a lot of people.
Yeah, making that phone call did feel pretty rough to me. It was, but it's okay to do it.
Okay, I know the answer to the next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How did you first hear about and get involved with PSI?
Yes, well, PSI found me through the Climb Out of the Darkness. So, like I had said, one of the very first community type things that I plugged into when I was starting this experience was this event called Climb Out of the Darkness. At that point, it was run by Postpartum Progress. In fact, I still have the original shirt. It's like this woman with like the shield, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't have that shirt.
It's just really cool. I still have it and wear it. But at that time, it was still a pretty small event. Yeah. And my therapist had actually recommended, hey, check out this organization and see like what you can tap into, what you can plug into.
Yeah.
So I was like, I read the event, I read the description, I instantly was like, I need this. Like, I need to see other moms and know that I'm not alone. And the closest event was like 4 or 5 hours away from me. And that was just not doable. So I looked at my wife. Because this is how I do. I have, like why not? I looked at my wife in the midst of all of this, like, I know I just blocked you from leaving the house.
But hear me out.
Will you help me plan an event?
Over the snacks that she lured her wife away from the door with.
God.
She was like, also, want to put on a party at a park?
Yeah. It was. So she was like, she knows me. She was like, whatever. Like, well, I'll just roll with it. This is just how we are. So I started my own climb team. And that first year, it was me, my wife, and my daughter. We went to Bluff Point State Park. I unknowingly started our like rock ceremony because while we were there, my daughter and I were just picking up random rocks. And I carried mine with us and I was fiddling with it, like you would with a stress stone. I was like fiddling with it and I was like repeating all this stuff in my head that I just needed to let go of. And by the time we got to this one little beach, I was just so amped up and I was so mad at the world and I was just so like pissed off that I was going through all this again and, just like in that place of like just grief. You're just like, why is it so hard? Because it was still a wound. It was a wound for me at that point. I just was like rubbing the bejesus out of the stone and I got so mad I just threw it into the ocean. And my daughter was in a backpack, right, in a carrier. And I see this thing fling past my face. And I was like, what the?
There's projectiles. Real tiny little rocks. Weird.
Yes. She had kept one of her rocks as well. Thank God she didn't put it in her mouth. Like again.
As they do.
Boss mom right there. Like, I didn't even know my 6-month-old had a rock in her hand, but she copied me. She threw it into the water. And that was the beginning of our rock ceremony that we've done. So the Climb Out of the Darkness was where I really plugged in. And I think 2 years after, I think it was like my second or third year leading that climb, I've led it every year since then. PSI took over. And so that's how I was introduced to PSI and all of the wonderful, amazing things.
Yeah, I emailed you and I was like, so same story.
Different location / same location, but
different management.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like we are under new management, but the principle is the same. Yeah.
Yes. No,
And
it
you
was
were like,
awesome.
I'm in.
We love that tradition that you have. So at your climb, just to reiterate, many climb events, like we'll have a walk. So you have the participants go on a walk with you. You all pick up a rock.
So now it's an official part of our climb. It has been for 6 or 7 years. People are like, are we doing it? I literally get asked. Now we bring Sharpies and we always start with a circle. So we start with this really circle of safety where we can share if we want to. We'll do some breath work. We might do some stretching, but it's this whole just looking at each other, facing each other, being able to look into each other's eyes. And there might be 10 people, there might be 40 people. Each year is a little different. And I always very openly share my story and why I'm there and why I'm climbing. This year, I might get a little kerflustered, but this year, my daughter asked if she could speak right after me, and she was amazing. She shared how up until this year, the climb was just this awesome event that she got to see her friends and participate, and she knew what it was about. These are her words. She was like, I know, I've always known what it's about. I've always supported my mom. And she said, but this year my anxiety is really kind of coming out. And she said, this year the climb is for me too. And she was like, it's healing me too. And I was like, oh God, I can't. I was trying to hold it back. So we do this little circle, and when we dismiss the circle, we explain when we dismiss this, everyone needs to find a rock. It's going to be a rock that is flat enough that you can write on, and you're going to write your burden, the thing that you need to let go. You're going to write that in Sharpie on this rock. Mm-hmm. And we're going to carry this rock for the whole walk, because that's what we do with burdens. We carry them. And then when we get to the beach, we all line up. And facing the ocean, we line up and we count to 3. We have a theme song. My amazing friend Will Evans wrote this awesome song. So I put that on a speaker and we count to 3 and we all throw our rocks into the ocean at the same time. And then we usually cry and shake it off and hug and do whatever.
I want to go to your climb.
It's awesome. You all are welcome.
Site visit.
On this beach that we go to, there's lady slipper shells everywhere. Oh. It's literally, instead of sand, it's lady slipper shells.
I'm telling you, the Northeast is just...
It is. It's beautiful.
I know. I have some outside from Connecticut when I was there, 2 summers ago.
Yeah. So we pick up a shell, and then we write what we need to bring with us. What are we taking back from this day in Sharpie? Oh. And so, a lot of people would write, community or hope or faith or trust or love or whatever it is that to remind them of how strong they were and that they let these burdens go, and we take those shells home. We exchange this really negative heavy thing and we bring home this really awesome positive message.
Yeah, that's take awesome. What you need, leave what you don't, right there.
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Final question before we get to the very exciting lightning round is what are you doing to support people in the perinatal period and frankly beyond, because parenting's just hard?
Yeah, so I have had many iterations to the way that I support moms, basically based on the stage I was in, because as I get better and learn more about myself and do more inner work and find all of these new amazing things about life and motherhood, I can help the people that are a few steps behind me, right? So When my daughter was 3, I couldn't really help many people other than the ones trying to give birth to a baby or right. that 4th trimester. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But now my daughter's 10. We've gone through a lot. We've really built this amazing relationship together. And so I support moms with kids that are 10 and under. And what I do is help them to get out of survival mode. So we work on making sure that you're meeting your basic needs as a foundation. And then when we build on that, like once we have that in place, the next kind of pillar that we focus on is, like I said, Supermom is a myth. And so we talk about all these limiting beliefs and negative self-talk and like all these programming things, even from childhood, that might be holding us back. All these unrealistic expectations that we need to just like peel away. It is a fact that we only have a finite amount of time with our kids when they're little. And then they grow up. And so why spend that whole time being in zombie mode because you're so overwhelmed and you're so burnt out? You're doing yourself and your kid a disservice. And so we just talked about all of these unrealistic expectations and pressures and how to let go of them and kind of redefine what you want this experience to look like. Mm-hmm. And then the third pillar is parenting. Like, okay, now that you've done all this inner work and you're in this awesome place of calm and you feel really connected to yourself, you're in this place where you feel joy. Like you literally, I call it, so my business is called Radiant Joy Motherhood. Mm-hmm. And I describe radiant joy as that joy that just like explodes out of you. Like when your kid does something silly and you just burst into this belly laugh. Or like all the time I'll be doing the dishes at night and we play music in the background. Yeah. And we just have it on shuffle and like a certain song will come on. I'll be like, oh hell no. And I'll drop the dishes and we just dance around. And like that's like radiant joy to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, we've done this foundational work. Now let's get there. And let's have this amazing, joyful, connected experience with your kid while they're still little. And then when they're adults, you will still feel that connection because you've built this strong foundation. So that's kind of the program that I take moms through now. It's a 16-week program, and it's one-on-one mentorship and group mentorship combined with a community, and there's actual like course material to look through. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I think no matter what stage of parenting you're in, even if you're not yet a mom, right? Even if you're in that stage where you're trying to get pregnant or you're trying to adopt or something, like it can be so overwhelming and all-consuming. I think that's the piece that people don't quite understand until you're in it, is that it's all-consuming and you can so easily lose yourself in it. Mm-hmm. And if you are not whole, like how are you supposed to help anybody else? How are you supposed to be there for anybody else?
Put your oxygen mask on first, people. Yeah.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is, for sure.
Do you ever get requests from dads? Is this just like a mom thing? Curious.
I have had several dads reach out to me over the years, and I have referred them to other people. And it's not because what I do can't help them. I feel like even for a stay-at-home dad, right? Society has a different expectation for a dad than they do for a mom. And the mom carries so much of the mental load and just the default running of the house, that all this invisible work that nobody even sees, that you can't really understand unless you're in it. And I use the term mom and dad here, but we are a same-sex household. We are a two-mom household. And in my house, I am the quote-unquote mom, and my wife is 100% the quote-unquote dad. Like, I love her dearly. She is an amazing partner. She's a great parent.
Yeah.
She tries. Like, she tries.
Under the bus. Backing up over.
Like, this is hot goss.
She does stuff, and she will do the laundry for, I'll be like, hey, I have all these meetings, and she'll say, without even asking, she'll be like, hey, I'll do the laundry, I'll do these things, I'll do the dishes. Like,
that's hot.
She does stuff. It is hard.
She's like, hey, babe. Boom. Dishwasher's on.
Yes. And her love language is acts of service. So I'm like, oh my God, you do love me. Thank you. You did the laundry. I love you too. Yeah. Thank you so much. But I think where the disconnect is, and even what she doesn't understand, which can cause frustration, is there's like the doing of the tasks, and then there's all the other stuff. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the Fair Play book by E. Brodsky.
Oh, yeah. Have it on my shelf right over there.
Yeah, so Fair Play. It's that whole concept of like, yeah, you can do something, But there's actually like the planning part that has to come first, and then you do the thing, and then there's the follow-up. And so much of the planning and the follow-up falls on the mom, even if the dad is doing, if that makes any sense. So I really try to just stay in that lane and focus on the mom.
On what you've experienced. And
yeah.
There are aspects of like, and this is really true for any couple, but like there are aspects that one partner is going to run point on and the other person isn't. And so there are going to be things that like aren't on your, Lynn, mental load that are on your partner's mental load, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to like the logistics of the household, which I think is what we're mostly talking about right now, like the logistics of the household, you're right. There's a tendency for all of those things to land on one person, not shared between two people. Does anyone know how to fix that? Like, do we write letters to someone?
No, in all seriousness, that book Fair Play has been a game changer. We've not implemented it 100%, but like we now have the language. Yeah. So just as an example, my wife and daughter are at an eye appointment right now, right? I'm here doing a podcast interview. So I said, this is you. I said to my wife, this is you. Like, I need you to own this piece. Like, you are owning this. And she, this morning, said, hey, do I need her insurance card? And I was like, yep, absolutely. And I didn't mind that she asked me that because I wasn't having to remember it. Like, had she gone and forgotten the insurance card, that would have been her. Not a, like, fall back on me because she's owning this whole trip. Yep. And right before she was leaving, she said, is this the place where you go this way? And she, like, gave the directions. And I was like, that's not the way I usually go, but, like, I don't know. And she said, well, can you get me the address? And I just stared at her. Oh. And I was like, you're owning this, remember? And she, like, rolled her eyes a little bit and huffed, but she was like, yep, okay. And she like,
I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah. And 3 years ago, that probably would have turned into an argument. Because I would have been like, do you not see? I'm getting ready for a podcast interview. Like, I have lights and things in my, like, can you not go on Google and look it up? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go on Google and look it up. Right. Like, that's what would have happened several years ago.
I have to look up my own optometrist every time. It's not like I have that in some mental Rolodex. Exactly. Like, I got to Google it. I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, God. So, it is. It's just a different expectation. It's a different pressure. It's a different type of exhaustion. If you're not carrying that mental load, you just don't understand. Because it's literally like we go to bed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow. I can't forget to check in the pantry to see if there's mustard in there because I know the mustard bottle in the fridge is half empty. And like you're literally going through this whole list of like, you know, does my kid have clean underwear? I know there's 3 pairs in the laundry basket from yesterday. And you're like
and you then know I folded another 2 pairs.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy. So you're like, there's just, this is how I describe it when I first start working with a client. I say to them that as that default parent mom, it's like a computer with 18,000 tabs open.
Oh, for sure.
You can either do some work that will close some tabs and make everything run better. Mm-hmm. Or you can continue the process and keep opening and the whole thing's going to crash. Like, those are the only 2 options.
You're not wrong.
Right? Like.
Yeah. Before we got on here with you, Lynn, I mean, I opened all 10 windows that I had open and said to myself, do we really need all these tabs open? And I took a deep breath on some windows. I scanned all the tabs and went, we can close this. It felt really scary, but I'm down to 3 windows now.
Yeah, see? It is legit.
And if it's really important, I'll come back to whatever. Anyway, well, I think it would be a great time for us to hop into the lightning round if we're all ready.
Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm nerve-sighted. Nerve-sighted about the lightning.
Nerve-sighted. I like it.
I relate to that emotional state.
Excitus? Never mind. I don't know. Okay, Lynn.
Exservice.
Emily.
Sorry.
Continue. Lynn, besides this podcast, do you have a favorite podcast that you'd like to recommend?
Ooh. I listen to a lot of like different ones.
Okay.
No wrong answers. Tell us.
Does not have to be perinatal mental health related.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
I really love, now I'm forgetting the name of it. My daughter and I listen to it together. It's Mindy and Guy Raz.
You want me to Google it? I'll do a hasty Google.
Oh my gosh. I'm totally, like, we literally listen
Wow
to
in
it
the
all the
World.
time. Wow in the World,
Oh
yes.
my gosh. How did I not know that? That's a great podcast.
Yes, I love it. It's super fun. And it's like, I geek out about science stuff too. So like my daughter and I literally can listen to it and I'm enjoying it just as much as she does. I also follow a couple like business, like entrepreneurial people, and Jasmine Star is one of my faves there. She's not for everybody. She's like this amazing Latina like boss mom, but she's like super hype all the time. She like talks a million miles a minute and I really love her.
Great.
Next up, do you prefer a book in your ear or a book in your hand?
Oh my God, in my hand, 100%. I love the smell. I like to like dog ear the pages if there's something I want to go back to. Yeah, totally.
Are you a note taker? Like if you're reading something that's like a fair play, like a self-help or like a whatever, are you like in the margins, like do? Uh-huh.
Oh, I have a separate notebook next to the book that I'm taking notes in. Yes,
wow.
100%.
I need to level
That's
up
next
my
level.
game. Yeah.
Sure.
I got to do that.
That's next level.
I like to write little notes in the cover of the book about like my big takeaways and then pass them on to a friend. I like to like.
Oh my gosh.
You can't do that with a digital book. So.
Right.
No, yeah.
So what are you reading right now? Anything good?
Nothing.
Or anything you'd like to recommend? I think you already gave a glowing recommendation to Fair Play.
Yes, I love Fair Play. Burnout.
Oh God, so good. Yes.
That's another. And then this is more of like a parenting one, but something that really kind of changed my perspective on parenting my daughter. And I got this when she was like a year and a half old, was the 5 love languages for kids. So it's like helping to understand how to figure out what your child's love language is and different ways that they might show you in their little kid way.
And how they might like to receive it.
Exactly. Because it's different than an adult, right? Like they can't communicate the way we would. So,
right. Yeah,
that was really good.
Awesome.
Are you binge watching anything that's really good? And if so, what?
Outlander!
Yes!
I'm not even joking. Okay, so this year for me has been the most amazing year for personal growth and inner growth and like I feel like I'm tapping into my true essence for the first time in my whole life. Like really, truly. And part of that, I kept getting drawn to Scotland. I kept just everything, like all roads were pointing to Scotland and I could not figure out why. And like January, February, I was talking to some family members and I have ancestors, literally 3 generations back are from the soil of Scotland. They came over from there. And so I have like found my clan and like we've been doing all this research and I have dreams about like living there. So, okay, so this is where I'm at. And this is where I'm at in the beginning of the year. So now enter this Scottish yoga guru, meditation guru, angel guide guru named Kyle Gray. And I'm like, I'm in. All you had to do was talk to me in that Scottish brogue and I'm in. And I have been with him all year doing his mentorship programs. I do his meditations every morning. I'm in his meditation membership. It's called Raise Your Vibration. He's my mentor for all my angel guide and oracle stuff. And so anyway, so like people are knowing this. So then someone says, hey, if you're all into Scotland, and I love like, I like sci-fi, but not like crazy, like Star Trek sci-fi. I like, I like sci-fi that blends with real life, if that makes sense, right?
Fine.
Like Twilight. Oh, like
let me have this, Emily. Jeez Louise.
Did you just say Twilight?
Yes, I did.
Emily's a Trekkie.
Yeah.
So my friend says, hey, like mix together your sci-fi love and your love of Scotland. And like there's the show Outlander. You have to watch it. I kid you not, you guys. Like half of season 7, I think, is out. There's still another half and then there's one more season coming. So I watched 6 seasons plus half of 7 season in like 3 weeks. And now I've gone back and rewatched them all like 18 times.
So you're saying it's bingeable.
It is. I'm lesbian. We've already established I'm lesbian. I am not bisexual.
Okay.
Like, I'm not into dudes.
At all. But this main lead, Sam Hewen, he's literally on my phone. Hold on. My wife knows this. This is not a secret.
Okay.
This is my screensaver. This gorgeous human being that is Sam Hewen. Like, legitimately.
I mean, honestly, any gorgeous woman with like a nice, popped collar, it would be fine either way. Right?
And he's got a Scottish brogue. Like, he's from Scotland, so he's got that, like, oh my God. Yeah. I literally walk around the house, and my daughter will be like, where is this thing? And I'm like, I dinna ken. Like, that's how they speak in Outlander. I dinna ken.
Dinna fash.
Dinna fash.
Okay. I love this for the both of you.
Outlander. Don't slam it till you try it.
There's a lot of gore in some parts, and there's some sex scenes.
Yeah. And some
non-consensual.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have, like, fast forward through whole episodes. And
yes.
Because I can't, that's too triggering for me.
That's what I need the Cliff Notes on what to skip and where. If someone has published that, then I'm in.
We'll let you know.
For sure.
We can let you know. This is not a family show.
It is not a family show.
Adult eyeballs only.
For sure. 100%. 100%.
Lynn, what is your best parenting hack?
Choices.
Oh.
Go on.
Giving choices?
Giving choices. Yeah, because we all have a control bucket and a connection bucket that we need to fill. And when our control buckets are empty, that's when we grasp and try to take control of every little thing that we can. And our kids are basically, like, have no control over their life. That's kind of the definition of their experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The more choices you can give throughout the day that are within your realm of comfort, it will fill that bucket. And then you, like, power struggles just disappear because their control bucket's getting filled. So what I mean is, like, hey, it's time for breakfast. Do you want the pink cup or the blue cup this morning?
Right.
Not like, I want you to go buy me a cup that we don't have. Well, that's not an option. So if you're kind of narrowing it down to begin with, then it's two options that you can live with.
Yeah.
And they can choose what they can live with.
Or like, hey, it's snack time. Do you want this cheese stick or do you want some apple slices? Those are your choices. You have to pick between those two. But you get to choose. You're in control. Game changer. Game changer.
Love it.
Can I rewrite the next question?
Yes. Do it.
Okay. Brand new question. Hot off my brain press.
Never even heard this before.
Oh, boy.
It's how we roll.
If you were going to give the new parent you advice with the knowledge you have today, what would you tell yourself?
It's going to be better than you could imagine. Don't give up. Hang in there. It's going to be better than you could imagine.
That's good stuff.
Well, I think we've done it.
Okay, we still need to know how everyone takes their water, so I'm not changing that one.
Okay.
How do you take your water?
Tell Lynn what that means, though. Like ice, no ice.
Bubbles, no bubbles. Through a coffee filter with beans and hot.
Do you only get your water through the moisture in your chicken nuggets? I mean, I don't know.
Like a sea lion. I get it through the fish I eat. No, we're on a well, so our water is delicious.
Okay.
So just tap water.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
During the summer, or like not cold winter, I like it just room temperature.
Yeah.
But during the winter, I will heat it up as if I'm going to make tea, but I just drink the hot water. My body like craves the hot water during the winter.
Oh, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, this is it's a 40-ounce thing that I carry with me.
It's called the Beast.
It's called the Beast. It's loved. Look at, I've dropped it like 18 times. But it actually will hold in the heat. So I will boil my water, fill this up. And I try to drink 2 of these each day.
Heats you up from the inside.
Yeah, it does.
Life hack right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into it. I like that.
I think we've done it.
Yes.
Emily, you want to take us out?
Yeah, okay. All right. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us today. Because for me personally, like this was a little bit of a like touch point back to my journey because we kind of went through a lot of this whole like, how do we make meaning out of our experience together? So thanks for going back in time with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome. You guys are awesome. I'm so honored.
Thanks, friend.
Thanks for tuning in to the I Am One podcast. Check out today's show notes where we'll drop links to all the important things that we mentioned in this episode. Please consider sharing about I Am One on social media and following and rating our show wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. It only takes a minute of your time and, well, that'll help our collective mission of bringing resources and local support to folks worldwide. From everyone here at PSI, thanks again for listening.